We are live. Hello everyone, it's Gill Fountain here from One Woman's Voice. It's so lovely to see you, and I have got a guest speaker today. Audria, thank you so much for joining me. Now, Audria is from Bethesda. Do it for me.
Bethesda Hemp.
That's it, Bethesda Hemp. I always get that.
That's so
fun. Hemp, and Audrey and I have been working together now for a good few weeks. We meet on a weekly basis, and I have learned so much. Now, Audrey, I'm supposed to be showing you what to do to increase visibility of your business, but actually, when we first started getting together and talking, I didn't have a clue about what your product was and the benefits. And over the weeks, oh my word, I have learned so much, but I still feel as if I'm only like a fraction of what your products do and how your products help with people's health. First of all, can you introduce yourself, where you're from, and how you got started in your business? Because it's such an interesting story.
Hey, girl. All these wonderful kids. I love them. And I love the noise on this Monday. But I got started with my business because I was into natural health already, because of my brother needed a lot of care for his mental wellness.
Yeah.
And then my husband lost his job to asthma, and he ended up needing a lot of care to get well. His asthma was bad, and then when he lost his job, PTSD and anxiety all sat in from his fire service, not knowing how to care for his family. I was a homeschool mom, and there was I was selling the road clothing, but that wasn't our income, so pretty much incomeless. And like, whoa, what do we do? When you are going to be taking care of a sick husband, maybe the rest of my life, we didn't know. I mean, I was having to come to reality and say, how am I going to do this? Because now it's all me. And so I was looking at CBD as a potential help for his anxiety. So we got him on that, and then someone saw my research through LuLaRoe, and I got hired as the first hemp tender in North Carolina. I learned everything, the marketing, how to market the products, called every single company about their product. So I learned what was in their product, what wasn't in their product, what shouldn't be in their product, and what all the dosing meant, what all the lab reports and I was like, wow, this really shouldn't be this expensive, and there should be more in the product. And then through a series of events, they asked me to sign a non-compete or lose my job, which they said was nationwide, which isn't even really legally acceptable. But anyway, I couldn't work there anymore. So we had zero income.
Zero. That is scary. That is scary.
And my husband's still needing a CBD, and so I found someone, started selling it he was handcrafting it, and he disappeared on me, completely ghosted me. I couldn't place any more orders. So I absolutely was pushed in a corner that I had to make it if we were going to survive. I already had a few customers, and they were relying on me. So I jumped in, prayed, cried many days. I cried and just said, God, what do I do next? What do I do next?
Yeah.
Instinctively, I went into what is currently our lab, but at the time it was just our carport building. And he's like, paint it. So I went to the store that day. I started washing the floors and washing everything, put on layers and layers and layers of paint to make it sterile.
Yeah.
Did some stuff, started calling farmers. So this is kind of a fun story now at the end.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, I was like the deer in headlights, and I thought this was even going to work.
Yeah.
So it was $60, and like just fingers crossed. I tried applying for other jobs, and then crazy stuff would happen. Like the job would just disappear, even though they wanted to hire me, and because it wasn't online anymore, the school couldn't hire me. It was just like, here you go. This is what you're going to do.
Wow.
I called farmers for 3 to 4 weeks. Nobody wanted to sell me any hemp unless it was over 15,000 pounds. I
Wow.
finally found that one farmer that was like, yeah, I'll send you 10 pounds. I went to Walmart with $1,000 for 10 pounds. That's how expensive it was at the time. Wired it to him because there was no banking for cannabis, and prayed that the hemp would show up at my door. And it
Oh
did.
my word. Oh my word.
And I made my first batch and it worked. And my customers loved it. And I was, the whole time it was faith, like, this has to work. This has to work. All my research, all I know has to pay off. And it did. And it paid off better than any other product that we had seen. Paid off better for my husband, paid off better for other customers. People started switching from their CBD only products because we had the whole flower infused into the oil. Handcrafting preserves so much more of the plant's beneficial properties than extracting it out down to basically nothing except CBD, or maybe CBD and a couple of other cannabinoids. CBD is short for a cannabinoid. It's cannabidiol specific cannabinoid. And our body needs way more than one. Our body is making more than one type of cannabinoid. And so as we started just trying it with people and getting feedback, we'd adjust what we were doing in the lab and learn which combination of cannabinoid structures by the process that we did would benefit people more. And so it took us about 2 years to kind of perfect that process, but now I feel like we get a pretty consistent result. And we're thrilled to find out that the cold press process that we use preserves CBDA, which is so exciting now that we know that we have a third receptor. Most people are aware of 2 receptors in the body. We have 3. And that CBDA, the third receptor, wants that little A on the end that most companies burns off for neurotransmission, to talk about.
Oh, we were talking about that the other day.
And that's so exciting because that's where the anxiety is taken care of, because those racing thoughts are because neurotransmission connections are not finishing. And so another connection tries to happen, and then another thought jumps in on top of another thought. And then all of a sudden you're like following all these thoughts and you can't control them because that neurotransmission needs to make a complete connection. And it may be that your third receptor is looking for CBDA. And that's in our product. And we didn't know that at first when we first started. So just keep researching like I love to do because I want to know why it's working. I want to know what we need to know, what's coming down the line if we know more. And so it's really exciting that when someone takes just a quarter of a dropper, that they get the anxiety relief. And
wow. Do you know, I'm on LinkedIn quite a lot, and I actually I teach LinkedIn as well, but being that I'm on that platform quite often, and I'm also connected with quite a few coaches. We do have a lot of clients that are coaches. And the thing that's coming up time and time again is the mindset and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, and the whole thing about going back out, because I know that in the UK we're all in the different stages, aren't we, of going. We've all been in lockdown, and we've been in lockdown for quite a while. The coaches, you are, just keep talking. The coaches are saying to me that they are having their books are full. Their books are full with clients because of the anxiety levels that are rising, and they are seeing this rising more so because they have now got to change again from, they've got used to being in lockdown. We've now got to change again to be mixing with more and more people. So those anxiety levels are going up. The coaches are fully booked. I've had coaches that were struggling a year ago to find clients, and they cannot take on any more clients because of exactly what you're saying about anxiety level, that when we were discussing about anxiety levels. But what you were saying was that this is like a missing thing from our bodies. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am. It is exactly it. Our body makes cannabinoids. When we're under stress, our body makes more receptors for cannabinoids, but it does not make more cannabinoids. So only way to get it in our body is to consume it from the hemp plant. And
it's amazing. Do you know, I just never knew any of this. You know, I just didn't know anything about. The most I knew was hemp, and I thought hemp hand cream, hemp sacking, hemp. What else comes from hemp? I was so naive. And then we started to talk. Now, I know, I'm going to zip over to your website because I know that there's a diagram on the website that is very good. Let me share to everyone so that we can see. Oh, here's Robin. Hello, Robin. Robin can't hear. Let's just try again. Let's share. So what we're saying, there we are. We've got, I've got up on the screen here the potency. So can you talk us through the different potency levels?
So the first bottle with just the CBD only, with just the green at the bottom, that's what most companies call pure CBD. They extract it down to a powder. They're getting out that one cannabinoid, and they're putting it in an oil. And some people find relief with CBD. The concern with having only CBD is that you have to take a lot of it, 50 to 100 milligrams a day, to get any kind of response, usually for most people. And then what happens is you overload the CB2 receptor, and it goes and it spills over to the CB1 and CB3 receptor, and it can end up blocking those from receiving the cannabinoids your body is trying to make and send to those, because it's just overloaded. And then it has to process all the extra cannabinoids to your liver. So we don't know long term on that, really. And then that's pure CBD. When they're saying pure, they don't mean that the product is clean. We're hoping that all products that are being consistent are clean products, as far as no pesticides, no adding any fillers or chemicals or preservatives. So pure just means that you're only getting CBD.
Yeah.
And then the second bottle in the middle, that's called full spectrum. That's better than CBD. You're going to get some other cannabinoids, but they're still distilling it down, and they're burning off all the A's, off the CBDA, THCA, CBGA. Those are all important for the third receptor, but they burn all those A's off. They also remove some of the terpenes. They do have some terpenes, which is better than none. But I know specifically from talking to the extraction processors that they bottle up a lot of terpenes, they resell them, and people add them to other products. So you're not getting everything that could be gotten there. You might get some little bit of THC, a little bit of CBN, but that's about it. You might get a couple of other little minor cannabinoids in there.
Okay.
Now, the third one, that's us.
That's you.
Our cold press process is going to put the plant in the oil and meld it all together. So you're going to get the chlorophyll and the polyphenols, which are also anti-inflammatory. CBDA, CBD are also anti-inflammatory. So now instead of just one, like your first bottle, anti-inflammatory component, you are more likely to get 4 components that are going to help your body rid yourself of inflammation. And really, it's the information for your body to do it. We're not preventing, curing, or treating any disease. We are hoping that your endocannabinoid system gets sufficiently supplied, and then your body will take over and do what it needs to do. Because your endocannabinoid system is what's responsible for making all the systems in your body work to do what it's supposed to do. And your body is supposed to remove inflammation. But if it don't have the software fed with the good information, plugging in the right codes, then it's not going to run functionally, and it's not going to tell the body to remove the inflammation. So you have to take from external cannabinoids often, especially when we're under stress or injury, to feed those cannabinoid receptors so that that system tells the body what to do. And that's why so many different reliefs are found, because this is the system that runs all the other systems in your body.
So when, excuse me, when people go to a doctor, when I've gone to a doctor before about different areas of health issues, their answer is always to give me tablets, which I hate taking, because they normally add, and if you get a reaction, take these. And before you know it, you're taking 12 tablets a day, if not more. So I always try to go for the natural remedies. And I know that there are other people within the group that have got different ways in doing natural remedies and healthy well-being businesses, which I'm going to love talking to people to really explore all the different ways of doing things. But do you feel that the way you do this is more natural and has got a better way of helping your body with that information to stop the anxiety? And I know that it's got lots of other benefits as well, which we will go into, but we're talking about this at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no pill that the doctor is going to give you that's going to feed your cannabinoid system.
Right.
So it's not going to make your software, in a sense, your endocannabinoid system, know what to tell your cells what to do.
Yeah.
The receptors are sitting on top of a cell, and it's waiting for the information from the cannabinoids to tell the cell what to do. And
right.
Once you've got the information, the cell sits there dormant, doesn't do anything, and then inflammation overtakes it because there's nothing telling it to remove the inflammation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is one part of the puzzle. You have to have your software running well, but then you also have to have things for the software to act upon, such as vitamin D, K2. You need those too, especially with COVID and especially with anxiety, because it's a mood thing too. So you need a full look at what's happening in your body. A lot of people can experience relief with this right away. And if they're already doing all those other things, this is going to be like dynamite to their plan. And then if not, then we need to look at you. Do you need vitamin D? Do you need vitamin Bs? Is your body not detoxifying because you have gene mutations? These are all other things that can be looked at in tandem with this. But some people, this will give them the base. Some people, it will help their mind start thinking, where they can actually think about those things.
Yes.
And if they're working on their mindset coach, some of those mindset coaches, I know they get frustrated because they're like, just tell your brain what to think. And some of these people cannot, no matter how bad they want to. They cannot themselves control of it because they're missing information.
Well, I've experienced this over the last few months, not myself, but within our family. And I know that what you're saying is true, because it just blocks out all your thought processes. Having anxiety and going into that cotton wool. I mean, people call it different things, burnout and whatever it is that's stopping you. Just focusing on your day-to-day life seems an impossible task.
It can.
And yeah, I know it is. I've watched it happen. I many years ago, well, not too many years ago, but a few years ago now, I had burnout in one of my businesses, and I literally could not open an envelope. That's why. That's how bad it can be. Your thought processes are just so bad. And if I'd have had something like this to tell my brain how to work, I would have cleared that up much quicker. So I'm just going to flick up to the top of your site, because I want people to see the top of your site so that they recognize it, because it is a very colourful site that you can stand down. There's your product. Here's the explanation that you've just done, and we're moving down now to all the different areas that, because we've been talking about anxiety, but actually there's a huge amount of benefits here. that people can go on, and we'll pop those in afterwards to and there's your shop online for the different things.
Yeah, so I just used mine today because I'm having my time a month.
Oh, right.
And I used to get cramps that were worse than contractions. And
Right.
I just rub them on my cramping area and take them under my tongue, and I'm fine now. Whereas before, it'd be a 3 or 4 hour deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of like curled up in a ball, not able to work.
Yes. Yeah.
So that I'm on this website doing this right now is massive to me, because normally I would have had to cancel from my.
Yes. Yes, it does. It does stop. Right. I'm going to come out of there at the moment. We're going to put that in. We're going to put all the details in underneath this video. But yes, and that's the thing. When you're running your own business, we need to be absolutely on pole all the time, don't we? We need to be on top. Oh, I don't even know what the name is, but we do need to get up in the morning and start. And because if you're under par, it affects your income, doesn't it?
It can, yes.
It can. Yes, it can. Yeah. So your husband has thrived on this, hasn't he?
So in a couple of months doing the cannabinoid therapy with him, we found that he was finally able to come out of the bedroom a little bit, because I mean he was pretty much stuck in the bedroom. The anxiety was so bad, and the asthma too. So we were also learning how to treat the asthma. But that also helped with the asthma, Mulian for asthma. And of course, he did his inhaler for a while, but we tried to find the more natural realms. And after about 2 months, he went out and mowed the yard. We didn't know if he would ever mow the yard again. I mean, and it's now been 5 years now since the diagnosis. And this year, he went and did a market all by himself, which for us is absolutely massive. For him, it's like conquering Mount Everest, really, because of everything he's been through. I'm thrilled. I don't have to do all the markets by myself. I mean, I was coming from a place where I was going to have to do everything from myself. So each thing was like, yay, he can do the dishes. I mean, that was big. And then, okay, I'm going to go take a ride over to my friend's house. That was a big day. I mean, and even with that, he'd go make some, and then we'd go back, and then we'd go out. And we've had to do some other things besides just CBD, but that was kind of the start that at least gave him the place where he could come to himself and go, okay, I need to do some other things for my health. Yeah. We had to find out about his genetics. We had to supplement some vitamins and some amino acids that he needed. Mm-hmm. But and then eventually we found out from the fire he'd also had mold in his body, so we had to detox that. And so that was kind of like the last piece of the puzzle, I guess, because now he's like cognitively thinking. He's like, I'm ready to go to a market. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat you at your cells, and like some friendly competition. It's it's exciting, because we were wondering, do we need to get on disability? Like, yeah, it was a real question. And it was always like, do we do it? Do we not do it? Do we keep going? Like, we didn't know. But now we know.
That's uncertainty, isn't it? And I know that you go off to the markets quite regularly, but whereabouts can people find you in the market if they're local to you?
If they're local, it's Sea Glass Salvage Market in Wilmington. And they can also go to Tidal Creek, and Maria's Health Shop carries our products. If you're a local health person or any health coach that needs something to help your customers overcome in this area, I'm a wholesaler to that population, so you can increase your profit and help your customers overcome what they're looking for in their lives, so they can overcome anxiety, pain, anything really. But if you're a mindset coach and those types of coaches, that would be a good place to And we go to Sunset Beach Market as well.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. And I know you're off quite regularly, aren't you, at the weekends? This is your time, isn't it, at the weekends, where you can be found. I remember our conversation the other day. You were saying that when people come to you, they come and find you at the markets now because they know that you've got the knowledge and the product that helps them. And I've spoken to a couple of people that take your products on a regular basis, and they've told me about the benefits that they get from them. So yeah, it's good stuff. And what a great story. I've got a fly here. What a great story as well, because it's a real success story, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty, I'm thrilled. I mean, I kind of am in awe of it sometimes. Just like, how? And
How? That's what I
have to share this with people. I want them to have the same successes in their life.
Yeah.
And that little saying about, you went through the fire and you come out carrying buckets of water for other people. I feel like that is literally part of our life story. Like,
yeah. It's a great story. It really is. And when you first said to me, oh, we spend so many hours or whatever it was in the lab, I thought, this is a different level completely, because for some reason, I just didn't realize that you manufactured it from scratch. I thought you'd got the boxes came in on the carrier and then you resold them. I didn't realize at the time that you absolutely start from scratch.
Yes, we got hemp and oil, and we go in there and we brew it.
Oh, lovely. Well, if anybody wants to buy, they can go to the website, or if you're local, then you can go along and meet Audria at the local markets. Thank you very much indeed for coming on as our guest speaker. It's been fascinating. Do feel free to pop any information you want about your markets or about your website underneath in the comments inside One Woman's Voice. And thank you so much. Stay on here anyway. Have you got any last message to say to anybody, just in case? I don't want to sign off and then say, oh, but I want
to schedule a chat if you have more questions, because I know I have a couple of different products. I'm mostly focused on anxiety, but there is other things, many things that it can be helpful for, and I'll help you figure out what to do.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you very much. Stay on a moment whilst I say goodbye to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. If you don't catch us live, some of you I know won't, and you want to come along and watch us, I am going to put this on YouTube as well, so I will put the link in. And thank you very much again. Take care. Bye-bye.